Fourth graders, today is Monday, January 13th, and we are combining two lessons today, Module 5, Lesson 7, and Module 5, Lesson 8. Both lessons are showing you how to use an area model. Remember last time we used area models to decompose fractions, yeah? Today we're going to talk about how we can use those same area models and how we can use also multiplication to show that two fractions are equivalent. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So, using an area model or a tape diagram, they're both the same thing really, we can show that this is 1/3. The shaded part is 1/3 of the entire whole. Do you guys agree? Now, I could also draw 1/3, like this. Is 1/3 of the whole still shaded in? Yeah. But what fraction am I showing now? What are my new units? What are my new units? Everyone? Sixths, because there are now 6 equal-sized units. How many of the units are shaded in? 2. Did I change the amount that's shaded? No. So this shows that 1/3 is the same as 2/6. Another way to say that using math is 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6. Everyone say the word equivalent. Equivalent. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. Now this is just the area model is what we learned last week. Do you guys remember that? We used the area model to decompose or to break apart. We could say 1/3 is equal to 1/6 plus 1/6 because here's 1/6. My pen isn't working very well. And here's 1/6, right? But here's how we could use math and multiplication to show it. We had 1/3 before, right? But the one area got split into 2 parts, 1 and 2. And because 1 times 2 equals 2, right? And then originally we had 3 big sections. 1, 2, 3. Our units were thirds. But when I drew this line here, it split it into how many equal-sized sections? 6. And I split it into 2. So 3 times 2 equals 6. And so using multiplication, I can show that 1/3 times 2 over 2, because I multiplied the numerator by 2 and I multiplied the denominator by 2, will equal to 2/6. So what that shows is that 1/3 is equivalent or equal to 2/6. We can see in this rightmost example that 1/3 is still shaded in. I didn't change the amount that was shaded in. But this time, my 1/3, or sorry, I'm going to change something. The one part that was shaded in has been multiplied into how many units? Everyone? 4. So 1 times 4 equals 4. And originally I had 3 main sections, 1, 2, 3, but those 3 main sections have been multiplied by 4 to become how many main sections? Everyone? 12. So using this picture, we show that 1/3 times 4 over 4 equals to 4 over 12. So we can see that 1/3 is equivalent or is equal to 4/12. In both of those previous examples, we said that 4/12 or 2/6 are equivalent to 1/3. What does the word equivalent mean? What does the word equivalent mean? If 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6 and 1/3 is equivalent to 4/12. What does equivalent mean? Talk at your table groups. Equivalent means equal to or have the same value. Okay, so write that down in your notebooks. In order to do this, we have to first ask ourselves, what portion of the entire unit is shaded in? What portion of the entire whole is shaded in? Arnav? 1/2. So that's our original fraction. After it's been decomposed, how many units are there in my entire whole? How many units are there in my entire whole? Sanvi? 6. So I know my new units are 6. How many of the sixths are shaded in? Swarnima? That means that 1/2 is equal to, or what's the math word we just learned?
Equivalent.
1/2 is equivalent to 3/6. But how can we use multiplication to show that? Well, we can show that 1 times what will equal 3? Everyone? Good. 1 times 3 equals 3. And 2 times 3 equals 6. And so this is the multiplication sentence you need to write with 2 equal signs, you'll notice, to show that those two are equivalent.